Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade in the
Shade in the City.
City. I'm Trees,
It's Nels.
and today we're getting back into reviewing Before the 90 Days, episode 6. So it's more foolery. We meet a new fool, and it's about to get real shady, guys. So make sure you join us, get your drink, and let's get shady.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right. So let me just tell you guys, opening scene. If you don't want to see it, let me save it for you. The majority of it is Alina and Caleb in bed, which I feel like the last two reviews that we've done, that's all I've seen of them. Laid up in bed, cuddled up. Like that's the best picture I've been able to get of the two of them. So this was the best one I could get that could differentiate. And this is them getting up and brushing their teeth from, the morning after. Basically, they discuss how was it. He wants her input. He's like, did I hurt you? And she's like, no. He discusses how, he doesn't want to be demeaning to her. So he like throwing her around or whatever. And I was just like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Even for me, it's too much.
Caleb was giving a lot of details.
We didn't need that much detail. Thank you, TLC. Y'all do best, but Jesus Christ.
I feel like Alina did a better job of kind of keeping it PG. Caleb gave us visuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's like, well, her legs are like this. So how do I do her legs like this? And I was like, Caleb, we don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear that. Like I legit got a visual and I was like, I didn't want to picture that. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with Alina. I just don't want to push your sex between the two of them, period. Right? Whether she was a normal size. So, yeah, we're just going to leave that there. Basically, the bulk of this conversation is that Alina is starting to feel some type of way because she wants to kind of know, especially after she done gave him some cookie. So now she wants to know, like, where is this relationship headed? Like, where are we going now that we've taken this next step? Because we only have, I think, a week or something more to make a decision as to where we're going. So it'll be interesting. I mean, at least he got to know, I will say this, at least he got to experience it so he knows what he's signing up for. So
Kimberly.
Into it. Step right into it.
Well, no, I was just gonna start from the beginning. She's because her and Usman woke up in different rooms. She is outside waiting for Usman to come outside, and he with his team trying to get himself together so he can go meet Kimberly and do his video. Little does Kimberly know, Usman lets us in on a little secret. The song that he's doing a video about is about his ex-girlfriend. Yes, who he's never met, who Kimberly doesn't know anything about.
That in the song is about love.
I wonder if her name is in it, just like his last one.
Baby girl Lisa.
But yes, baby girl Lisa. But go ahead, Tris, because I know you want to get into this.
The song is named after her. Her name was Zara.
The name of the song is Zara?
Yeah. That's what makes Kimberly stupid, is because I would have asked, I would have been like, I would have did my Google search and I'd be like, so what does Zara mean? I would have, ass would have asked.
What's gonna make it funny as shit? What's gonna make it funny as shit is she's trying to get into their asses about how they handling business and wants to be the supportive girlfriend or supportive potential girlfriend. And the song is, and the video shoot you at, it's for a whole nother bitch, boo. So Kimberly, you know, is on sets and she has a few opinions. You know, Superfan feels the need to speak up. Apparently, they lost power while cutting his hair, and you know, they're like, "Oh, it's fine. You know, we need to get this done." And he's like, "No, you didn't even do the other side." She's like, "Yeah, you deserve better than this. Can you plug it in over here? You know, this."
Why are we cutting like, your hair the day of? What is going on? She's just giving real like fanager. Like she thinks she's
fanager. I like that. Fanager. I like that.
It's ridiculous.
Then I guess there was like an outfit or something maybe that was missing. He's like, "No, I can't wear this." They're looking for the outfit and they're going crazy looking for it. And Kimberly is going in on
Badmus and Slam T. And you know how we feel about Badmus and Slam T.
We know how they feel about her. So the fact that they biting their tongue and still trying to be respectful, they're like, "No, we got this. Like, we got this, you know, like they're all from Nigeria. We got this." She's like, "Well, you don't got it from what I can see."
And what I'm seeing now, you know, to the confessional, and Badmus is like, "I don't know what Kim thinks she's doing, but we know what we're doing. And she needs to have several seats." And I was like, Badmus. I love him. I love them both. I just think they tell it like it is, and they just not really here for. And this is actually probably the best picture that I could get of her because all the other ones were just.
Oh, you know what else I thought was funny? I just want to backtrack real fast. She's getting ready, looking in the mirror, and she's looking at her ass, and she's like, "Oh, you know, I could be one of his dancers because I bet my ass is bigger than theirs." Bitch, your everything is bigger than all of theirs. The fuck? This is why you can't be one of the dancers. You see what you should have did with the money, boo? I'm just saying.
Spend your money wisely in 2022. All right, so we see Hamza and Memphis. Again, TLC, we could spare some. We really can. We don't need all of that. I was really floored. They decide to go out and get some, you know, time because there's still a little bit of tension in the house between Memphis and the mom. So they go out to get some time alone, and she lets Hamza know that she has to poop. Not, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. Any of those responses would have been appropriate. She, I guess maybe because of the language barrier, she had to let him know how serious it was. And she's like, "No, I really have to poop." And this is how sweet Hamza is. He literally sits outside the bathroom and waits for her to finish pooping. He's like, "Are you done?
Okay?
Are you okay?" And off no bull.
You can what's crazy is TLC, you can actually hear her straining, okay, from outside the bathroom. We really did not need that.
Y'all were doing a lot. But one thing I could appreciate that about Hamza, the consideration, but what it gave me, and as I told Nels off camera, I'm potty training my child. That's what that scene just gave me. My son telling me he has to poop and me being around the corner. "Are you done yet? Are you done?" That's what it gave me. It wasn't cute. It was not romantic. And somehow TLC always finds a way to redeem themselves. So we see a heart-to-heart moment where they're sitting down drinking, I think it's Duran. So it's like, which I think is like a fruit or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, viewers.
I thought it said orange juice.
No, I don't think so. I think I feel like he said Duran, and I do feel like Duran is a fruit of some sort.
Oh, maybe they. I know. I remember seeing orange juice. Maybe. Oh.
And if you go look it up, I could see how if you squeezed it, it would look like that. But anyway, so they're doing, you know, sitting, having a conversation, and Hamza's like, "Well, my mom's concerned about like your past. Like, I do need to know more about you." So basically, Memphis lets him know my mom was on drugs and wasn't always a good mother. My dad sold drugs and also did drugs and is locked up and was pretty much locked up until
Up until 30.
And Memphis is only 33, 34. So her dad just got out, which makes me believe that they still have not established a relationship, probably upon his release. So that's a little bit unfortunate because you can clearly tell that she's missing something. She's looking for something and traveled across the world to try to find it. So when maybe she just needs to go call a psychiatrist and call her daddy in and talk about how she feels about how her parents did her. I'm just saying. As I told Nils, if unstable was a person, its name would be Jasmine. This one.
Let me say something. You always talk about Memphis needing therapy. This bitch here need therapy.
Now, I know that in a couple reviews, I have compared my level of crazy to Jasmine, but no, baby. You won the race. Okay, you won that race. I don't want to win that one. It's a sprint, not a marathon, bitch. You're going to be crazy for a long time. So basically, we see that Jasmine is still upset from her gift of a toothbrush for Christmas, and they go to the gym. As she's working out, Gino is trying to talk to her, and I think he asked her something as simple as like, "Oh, isn't that called a set?" And she's like, "I usually like to do my workouts alone," and so basically shut the fuck up, is what she was saying. He's like, "Oh, okay," and he's just so obedient, like a damn dog. He's like, "Oh, okay." Instead of being like,
she actually said, "Good boy."
Yeah, she said, "Good boy."
She said,
my thing is, if I was Gino, what the fuck am I sitting here for? I'm going back to the room. You work out by your goddamn self. What the fuck am I sitting here watching you work out for? And
he did that to try and up her about the toothbrush.
Basically,
but that's why she said, you know, what she said was, all you did was follow me to try to make it up. What I need is, I booked this 4-day trip
to a small island in Panama City.
And for you to make it up, I need you to pay for it. He said, "Well, how much is it?" She said, $2,500.
And what's so crazy is he said, "I already booked the trip." So basically, sir, you were paying for it, whether you knew it or not. That's how I feel. Because she was like, "Yeah, I already booked it." She was like, "There's just one thing. You have to pay for it."
Yeah. You know, I should really be doing that. And she's like, "Well, you know, you've taken better, more expensive trips with your exes. Are you saying I'm not worthy?" Boy, she got you cornered there, boy. She got you cornered there, boy. So he was like, "Yes, you're worthy. You're worth it. I'll pay for it."
They have a small moment of peace. What we think is peace. We think they're moving on. And then she says something about how she wants him. She wants him to burn. He would burn everything in his house. And he was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Well, the stupid colors that dumb bitch." Basically, she said something along those lines about his ex-wife. She was like, "Who puts baby blue and what was it, red together or something like that?"
Red.
She was like, "And I'm supposed to sit there, move in there and sit there and look at the walls and act like it's lovely." I said, "Woo, that bitch was." And then it just went left after that. And he was like, "No, well, you know, she's like, "Who picked the colors?" And he's like, "We picked them together collectively." She's like, "How dare you pick colors with your ex-wife?" And she runs out the gym and
tell me that you like it when you know it'll make me mad.
If unstable was a person, and she is literally sitting in the lobby crying her heart out, talking about how painful it is that he chose a color on the wall with his ex-wife, and the fact that he feels like it can stay. It's not a big deal. And the thing is, I don't even think Gino would care if she changed it. It's the emotion, the bullshit behind it, the cursing his ex-wife
and the disrespect.
Yeah, the disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, if she's seen it and she was like, hey, these colors are cool, or I'm not really feeling these colors. When I move in, do you mind if we change the colors? I don't think he would give a fuck. But it's like the fact that you're saying, oh, you're stupid bitch ex-wife, and I sucked your dick more in 2 days than she has, and the whole time you motherfuckers were married, and like,
and then what I hate to say it,
you ain't gotta
he
do
was
all
like,
this.
why are you saying these things? And she was like, you told me that. And I was like, if he gave you that information, if he gave you that ammunition.
Well, he didn't say, why are you saying these things? He said, you don't need to say these things. You don't need to be nasty. And she's like, why are you defending her? You her lawyer. What it was he's telling her, this woman, things that I want her to stay on, and she's using it to be nasty to the ex-wife by saying it on camera, because of course it's going to come out. That's why he's.
I don't know, y'all.
He's being a bitch.
Jasmine, and now it's a whole nother level of irrational type of crazy. You can be crazy. It can't be.
Let me tell you this, Gino. Let me tell you this, though, Gino. I'm gonna pray for you, and if you get out now, to save you $2,500.
You better think about it. It'd be like
look,
for Valentine's Day. You stupid. Get the dipping.
You better get out while you can.
So, y'all, we meet our newest fool, and he just makes. I think he's taking the cake on this one. So Benjamin is 52 from Fraser, Michigan. And I don't know why
I call him a fool.
I don't know why they keep finding these people in Michigan.
He's inexperienced.
There's a whole bunch of fools in Michigan is what I'm getting. So basically,
he is inexperienced, and ignorance is bliss.
Inexperienced fool. So let me tell y'all why he's an experienced fool. Because Benjamin, 52 from Michigan, somehow fell in love with Mahogany, who you see top left, bottom right. And as you can see, I don't even think this is the same person in these pictures. She's 24. He
just turned 24.
They apparently she sent him a video, but they've never actually video chatted. He was once married. And then that didn't work out, I guess, based off the fact that his marriage was based in his religion. And he says that it was a little extreme and it was almost cult-like. However, he still has a very deep love for God, and, loves the fact that Mahogany respects the fact that he's not looking for anything sexual until after he's married. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be so nice. Anyway, so he sits down with his friends and he's telling them top right, bottom left. And he's telling them, he's like, yo, so basically I want to get ready to meet this girl. I'm going over to Peru. He gives them all the details and they're basically like, you sound like a fool. And they're like, have you seen her on the video chat? And he's like, oh, well, she sent me this video where she sent a very generic video that she probably sent.
There wasn't, she didn't say his name or anything.
It was just bad. It was just, and then
they also asked if she's ever asked him for money. And he said, well, she asked him for a loan. The friend is like, a loan is money. Apparently he loaned this woman $1,000. He didn't say when it was gonna, when he was going to get it back. But he's like, if I had to spend $1,000 to go over there and find out if she's real or not, then it's worth it.
I didn't
okay.
But he's the best type of scam. He's not, because he's not trying to screw you. He's very generous, and all you got to tell him is you love the Lord. Oh, and as he lets us know, this is not the first time that, or I'm not going to say first time because we don't want to. We're going to give it the benefit of the doubt and not assume that mahogany is not real. But
we'll say that he has been catfished before.
He's been catfished before, y'all,
by
some African man
who he thought was a woman. I don't know. I don't want to call him a fool, only because he grew up in a community / church where they couldn't watch TV. They really couldn't do shit. They couldn't do anything. So this online dating thing to him, he's even said it is new to him. He didn't really know how to navigate it. So he actually took a break from dating for like a year and a half because he had no idea what the hell he was doing. He clearly still doesn't know what he's doing. This is not something. Online dating is just like with the sister wives. I think they are easy targets because this is not something that they are used to. They don't know what to look out for. Yeah, they don't know what to look out for, or that there's even these people trying to scam you.
That's
you know what I mean? He seems like he looks like he has really nice friends who are willing to, let him know, hey, look, I think this is a scam. I think, she's trying to get in your pocket. But it's hard to tell a grown man that when he's the one having the conversations with this woman and, having these feelings and emotions. So it's hard for someone else, an outsider who he's just revealing this to, to tell him, oh, a few months that you've been talking to this woman, she's a scam artist. So, I mean, I don't want to call him a fool. I'm just going to say it's ignorance, and ignorance is bliss. And he is just inexperienced in this online dating world. So I actually feel bad for Benjamin. I hope this bitch is real, but these airbrush pictures and shit like that, and that ass video is not giving me the vibe that she's real. But we have seen some miracles on,
90 Days. That's true. What's the other one? What's the other girl that showed up and we thought she wasn't real?
After how many times he went to her damn country and the bitch stood his ass up. So you never know. I hope so, because I actually like Benjamin. He has an amazing body. He's a model. I just feel like he's
looking good for a 52-year-old. He's not.
Yes, he is. He takes really good care of his body. I feel bad for him because, it's like sending a fucking 5-year-old into this world or something.
Yeah.
They don't. So
poor Ben. We hope mahogany turns out to be real. All right. So we get to Jimena and Mike. They are taking a stroll through the coffee grounds, I guess, of where they, plant and harvest all the coffee, Colombian coffee at that. So I'm sure it's good. That would be my type of thing. I would love to do something like that. And it was very beautiful.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would. And the scenery was dope. In that moment, Mike basically lets her know he wants to talk about the situation about her basically laying on him that she couldn't have, or she had her tubes tied or burned, and she can't have kids. So he basically is like, well, is there a possibility that we can revert this situation so that you can? And she lets him know, nope, they've been burnt, tied.
Well, she said that what he said was that he knew of people who had them tied, but they were still able to have children after. Is it possible? And she said she did not have hers tied. She had them cut and burned. So she will never be able to have children again.
So basically, this is obviously disheartening to Mike, which now I'm starting to feel like how Nels felt in the beginning. Poor Mike. Because now he done flew out to see his dream girl. She done rocked his world, and now she done laid on him that, but I'm never gonna give you kids. But I have two that you can take care of. Don't forget about them. Um, Mike is just like this.
She actually said that.
Yeah, she actually did say that. Mike is like, I'm still.
That was her plan.
That definitely was her plan. That definitely was her plan.
That was her fucking plan, because Mike wants to tell her, no, I want children of my own, and you should have never did this shit. You should have told me before I came out here.
Her, though. Remember, he asked her. He was like, why didn't you tell me that? He was like, you didn't think that this would have been something like, how are we supposed to work out when you know I wanted kids? And that's when she brought up, well, I have my two sons and they don't have a father, basically.
What about my children? And ma'am, let me tell you something. I would not have, and she said, and you're already in their lives. You know, they met you, bitch. Had you told him from the get-go, that would have never happened. That's your fault that he met your children, because he came under false pretenses.
All right. So we see our girl, Miss
I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her.
She is upset. And it was such an abrupt cut. The editing on this was crazy because they just dove right in, and they're
like, we got to catch this shit.
I know, right? They start in the middle of an argument that Hamza is having with Memphis, because she was talking to the sister and they were discussing, she asked her how old she was. The sister said, I'm 3 years younger than Hamza. And she was like, oh, well, how old are you? And she was like, oh, well, I think she said, what, 23?
23.
And she was like, no, because Hamza told me.
And she said,
just turned 28.
And she said, and Hamza's 26. And yeah, Memphis was like, well, Hamza told me that he's 28. Hamza apparently told her when their first conversation, told her that he was 27 when in reality he was 25. I don't feel bad for her, because had she taken the time like she was supposed to get to know his ass, she wouldn't be so fucking invested, and she already gave up the cookies and don't even know this man's real fucking age.
I do feel bad because she talks about, I was just vulnerable with him. I told him my whole like past. And, you know, as I said, she needs therapy instead of being out here looking for a man. She needs to go to therapy, because she's like, oh, and I've had issues with people just being honest with me, and just difficult relationships since I was a child. And that's based off.
Well, guess what? If she would have taken time to find out and got the real fucking answers, rather than always doing sexy time and having to have sexy time as soon as she hit the goddamn door, then guess what? Maybe she would have found out some shit. It wouldn't have been so fucking emotional right now.
Well, Nels has points. Sorry, Memphis. Sorry this had to happen to you, but I mean, it was bound to happen because you really didn't know him. And maybe that's your mistake. First, maybe you need to know yourself first. How about that? All right. Over to Alina and Caleb and Elijah. And they are out going to the Grand Bazaar. And it actually looks very beautiful. It looks like there's a lot to do and just a lot to see, things to try out. And so as they're exploring, they have a cute little moment where I love how this would be something that I would do. Caleb suggests that they go get some tea or, you know, stop and get something. And then they're like, okay, yeah, we could stop and get some tea. And he's like, cool, well, you grab me one. And then he's like, I'm going to go over here. And I was like, that's so me. That's so me. And I'd walk away real quick. So they sit and they have tea. And as they're having tea, which I think is really cute, Alina spills the tea with Elijah, and he's asking about her night of passion with Caleb. And he's like, was it a kiss? Was it more than a kiss?
She's like, oh, Yeah, she was like, "Oh, we had a kiss and it was like spicy, like
But she said,
Tabasco level."
yeah, Tabasco spicy.
And he's like, "Well, was it just a kiss or did he go deeper?" She said, "I took a ride on his disco stick." I thought that was the cutest shit in the world.
Go ahead, Elena. Take a ride on the disco stick. I am
But
not
she lets
mad
it
at.
be known that, huh?
No, I said I ain't
What was
mad at her
that?
riding on the disco stick. Go ahead, girl.
Oh, but she lets it be known that, she wants to know more. She wants to know where they stand and where they're headed. And Elijah's like, "Well, you need to ask him." And she's like, "I am, but he ain't giving me much." He's like, "Don't worry, girl, I'll ask him for you."
And then
And
she's like,
Alina knows that they don't get along. So she knows if Elijah said, "Look, that'll probably be the end of their shit." She's like, "No, it'll better come from me." He's like, "Bitch, exactly.
well,
So get on your shit."
the main thing is that she is scared to pressure him about where they stand because she has yet to tell him about her secret of her pretty much living with her ex up until the minute she got pretty much brought her ass over there. So, and basically she tells Elijah, like, "Well, I'm just scared to tell him." And he's like, "Well, I can tell him that too." And then she's like, "Well, no, I don't want you to do that." And then he's like, "Well, then you need to tell him." And then, and she's like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Yes, you do. Yes, you do."
So Benjamin is, I guess preparing lunch for his family to come over. He wants to tell his kids and his ex-wife, who he shares joint custody with, that he plans to go to Peru.
In the center,
And
the one that looks mad and bitter, that's her. Go ahead.
that's the ex-wife. He's going to Peru to meet Mahogany. So he sits them down, it looks like in the backyard, and explains this to his family. And apparently they don't take it very well, because he has had a past girlfriend who was 28 that he dated, and she's up here in the top left.
She was 18
He was
years.
engaged. He was engaged to her. And apparently the fiance didn't want him spending as much time as he should have with his kids. And apparently that's what he did. He didn't prioritize his kids. So the relationship between him and his fiance, he said, ended badly. And he promised his kids that he wouldn't do this shit no more. So now here he is, leaving the country to go meet a 24-year-old that he ain't never seen before. And he's showing the picture. One of the daughters said, "This picture is fake. This bitch is full of shit. She is a catfish."
Genuine.
Huh?
Yeah. She said this doesn't look genuine at all.
And let me tell you about the ex-wife. The ex-wife did not skip a beat taking shots as well.
That was a lot of shade coming from that side of the table.
He was like, this is where the Lord is leading me, and I wouldn't go if the Lord wasn't leading me there. And she said, "Well, when did you start going where the Lord led you? Because the Lord definitely didn't lead you in that relationship with that 28-year-old."
The shade was real. It was great. It was great.
According to him, his ex-wife has not gotten over the divorce, and apparently is a little bitter. I don't know. I don't know what she is. But one thing I do know, the bitch is shady. She's shady as fuck, and I'm here for it. I fucking love it.
We need to
shut his ass the fuck
TLC.
down. Yes, because that was funny as fuck. She looked aggravated as fuck to even be there. Like, why the fuck I gotta sit in your motherfucking face with this bullshit?
Well, Ben, we wish you the best, but as we're unpacking, the bag looks, you got a lot of baggage. You got a lot of baggage.
So I don't mean to compare, okay? But Mike told Jimena that I am taking you on a trip so that we can have some alone time
Okay.
in Salento, Colombia. I have no choice but to compare because they're in the same goddamn season. But Hanson, and what's the girl name?
Jasmine.
Is that it? Oh, and Jasmine. You see how nice she is, how caring she is to his nasty looking ass. And to me, he looks worse than Mike. Okay, me personally. He's creepier looking than Mike, okay? But she caters to this man.
Yes,
She a little off. She a little off. But she caters to this man. This motherfucker brought her a toothbrush for Christmas. And she had to tell him, this is how you can make it up to me, is by taking me on a trip. This bitch, Jimena, got him to Colombia under false pretenses.
Lied to
then told this motherfucker, I can't have kids, never will, never can, but you can help take care of the ones that I made with these full of shit motherfuckers.
Hit the nail on the head with that one.
And he just, okay, well, we're gonna go on a trip so I can have some alone time with you. This is what I mean. Niggas love bitches. They love bitches. This is why you want women to have feminine energy and be sweet and soft. When you're like that, you get treatment like Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
You motherfuckers won't admit it, but you like bitches. This bitch got taken on a trip for being a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And being manipulative.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened.
Go ahead.
So they go on the trip, and then not only as he takes her to this beautiful oasis that you guys see, he then they're chilling in the jacuzzi, and he's like, oh, I want to talk more, and because I don't want there to be any secrets, he's still trying to keep the lines of just again going above and beyond to accommodate the person that has told him nothing but lies since he got there. So he's like, oh, is there anything else that you want to share with me? And she's like, oh, well, I used to live with a hitman. She said, I don't think he's a threat now. I haven't talked to him since I left him 2 years ago, and I think we're fine. She says that,
you know what though? She's still
on David and Harold's dad, she had no relationships with them, which we know one to be true, but we know that the other one is bullshit.
That's my point.
Jimena, you're not winning any points over here. You're really giving Scammer, and I'm starting to feel bad for Mike again. And if he was talking to 5 other girls like you right now, I can't blame him.
Mike said, I don't understand how she was able to get herself involved with these type of men. Sir, did you not realize you're that guy? She did all her shit, all her fucked up her life with all these fucked up motherfuckers. And you, Captain Save-A-Ho, Mr. Nice Guy, is supposed to come in, swoop in, and help her and save her motherfucking life and help her with her fucking kids. And she can't even give you your fucking own. That was the plan, homie.
That was the master
That's
plan.
what you're there. So Memphis is still upset, understandably. She's in the room crying with production. And they're like, have you talked to him? Do you want to talk to him? And she's like, no, I don't want to go out there. I don't want them to see me like this, all crying and hysterical and shit, because, they really feel like she's being dramatic, quite honestly. They like, this is a bit much. Like,
right.
It's really not that serious. So she calls him to the room and she's like, why did you lie? He's like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. And he tells a confessional, that he lied because he feels like he's older and he thought that she'd be more willing to talk to him if there was a smaller age gap. So I can understand initially why he lied, he didn't know her like that, and he probably felt like he didn't owe her shit. He just wanted to talk to her. But
Yeah.
I do feel like, as time went on, he
He
should have
probably
said,
could have
"Hey,
told her.
I got something to tell you. A lot about my age. I'm 2 years younger than what you think." Uh, so then she's like, basically, nigga, if you lied about this, what else you lied about?
Which is
Did you
understandable.
did you did you did you get your what was it, like, cooling it heating
Yeah, he was
and
supposed to
cooling
be doing for
energy
heating and
certificate or
cooling, like
something?
AC, basically, HVAC.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, yes, yes. She's like, get your sister. Go get your sister. Go get her now. Go get her now. Bring her in here. I thought the sister was trying to cover for him because he sat out there for a little bit. Like, I thought he wasn't going to tell his sister to come. So I thought he was like trying to tell her, like, lie for me, bitch. You got me in this situation. Lie for me. So when she was asking her, she was like, cooling, I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. So she was like, did he go to school? Did he go to college? Did he get a certificate? Tell him to show it to me.
Mm.
I'm like, you want him to show
And
it to
then
you, but
she
bitch,
definitely
you ain't
did.
gonna be
She
able to
pulled it out.
understand it. She pulls it out. She couldn't understand it, which I knew she wouldn't, but she was able to see the 2 year time that he was in school. So, I guess that was proof enough for her. And she just let it be known, look, tell him he cannot lie to me anymore.
And let me just say, the biggest thing I think for me, what would have upset me more is that, and I wish she would have made that more of her point. I understand why she was upset, but with them going to do marriage paperwork the next day, and for these visas and shit like that, and when you're getting married in these different countries, if you have an inkling of anything wrong on that paperwork, they will deny you. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that she didn't have the correct age for him, and you understand what I'm saying? That looks real sloppy when you walk into an office and you don't know how old the person you're marrying. Like, so I think that would have been my point. It was still wrong. But I think that was the more important thing, because once you start putting money behind this type of stuff, I don't have time for you to be lying to me now that I've invested in getting you somewhere or trying to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't mad at you, Memphis. It's understandable, as we said. So we get to the video shoot of Soulja Boy. As you can see him here with this beautiful model at the bottom left. And yeah, he did his thing. The song is cute. I might actually go look it up on my Spotify. He was giving, loving the Afro beats.
I actually like it more than I like it more than the Baby Girl Lisa song.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And one thing we cannot deny, yes, Kimberly is a super fan, but she actually came through harder than his own team came through for him on the day of the shoot. And he saw that, he appreciated it. And so I think now one thing we do have to mention, Kimberly, as he's shooting, she says, Zara, I just think that was really weird that he named a song Zara. Like, what would make you think of that name? And somebody just tells her, like, oh, it's for all the girls in the world named Zara.
No. She asked him. Who is Zara? And he said to her, it's for all the girls in the world named Zara. Girl, don't you think if she would have asked Badmus or Slim T, they would have told her ass? Oh, yeah, that's the ex-girlfriend. You know, the real pretty black one that lives in the U.S. also. Oh, you ain't know. Look, let me pull up a picture of her. I could see it now. Girl, look. I wish you would have asked their ass. No, she said she got that answer from Usman.
I didn't catch that part, but that is very interesting. Is the case. So yeah, no, she apparently got that from Usman, and she's like, but I don't have time to worry about that right now or address it because I have to hold him down because all his shit is falling apart around him. And then yeah, no, we basically see him after a long day. They're on the car ride home and he's laying in Kimberly's lap. And it actually is like a real type of weird, cute moment. I guess for them it's cute, but it's not for the viewer. It's not cute because I don't know. It's just not cute. So yeah, he's falling asleep in her lap. And as she decides to address Badmus and Slam T in the back seat and was like, I really feel like you guys dropped the ball today. And he wasn't.
Well, she did apologize. She apologized first. She started off with an apology.
She did.
She did say, I'm sorry about how I reacted in the room with the clothes and everything. But he's pissed. And I feel like basically you niggas wasn't on your shit. And that's why. And they was like, well, no, you don't have the right to blame nobody. Really, I feel like it's because of you. She's like, what? Not me.
And then
not Superfan.
Not Superfan. And of course, Soulja Boy jumps up and he's like, no. And he's like, you're not going to be talking. He was like, that shit was whack today. And he was like, and regardless,
we ain't here on vacation.
We didn't handle our business. And she's here for a different reason, basically saying that she shouldn't have been doing y'all job.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that scene. And we see.
And he said, whether you like it or not, I don't give a fuck. Point blank simple.
All right, Soulja Boy. I love that you standing in it. If this who you want, I guess what can we
until that bitch flip on him when she find out who that song is for.
So we are back to the craziness of it all that is Gino and Jasmine. Now she is still upset from the gym situation and storming out. Hanson is laying in bed comfortably, sort of unbothered. He's just like, oh, she flipped her shit. And, she's just on one of her little crazy rants. She finally comes back in the room and basically you can tell she's waiting for him to engage with her. And basically she lets him know that there will be no baby anytime soon. She thinks that he should get up, pack his shit. And she's ready to go. And she no longer wants to play in his bullshit. She lets us know in the confessional that although she comes off, very beautiful and very, confident, she's like a scared animal on the inside and doesn't want her heart broken. He finally addresses it and he's like, well, what do we need to do to get to, and she's like, you can't ever talk about your exes, ever. They do in a good way. And I was like,
she said, you can't ever talk good about your exes. She said, I don't want to hear about no trips that y'all went on. You can't say anything good about them. Do you understand?
And you know what I loved before that moment? Gino says in the confessional, I should have just said, no, I didn't like the colors and all of this would have been over.
She would have never had her explosion. He was like, that should have been my answer. I didn't like the colors. No, I didn't like the colors.
We then see that, and I applaud Jasmine for this moment. She comes out and she lets Gino know that I've been on birth control this whole time and we are not ready for a family. We are not ready. And so there will be no family made on this trip. We can still consider it later on down the line.
It sounds like or the next. Exactly. She said they are nowhere near making a family.
She said, I'll leave that door open eventually. I'm not closing the door, but this is not happening as of right now. This is not what's on my mind. And you can tell he's hurt by it because obviously he's getting older and he really wants to have his own child. So
and Jasmine doesn't have kids.
No, she has two. Remember, one is with the ex-husband and the other one is with parents or something like that, right? Her youngest one. So I get it, and I also get it why she don't want to just go out here and have this man's baby. So Gino was a little hurt by it, and basically we see them kind of somewhat kiss and make up. But it was insane. They fools. Thank you guys. so much for
your love, your support.
Love and the support. And thank you for tuning in to another review of Before the 90 Days, episode 6. We will see you next week for episode 7. And it gets a lot more foolery. And we get to see if Johnny shows up. We didn't see him this episode, him or Ella, or if our new guy, Benjamin, gets to meet his Peru boo.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see. But thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure that you like,
comment,
subscribe,
and hit the notification bell.
And we will catch you next week. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!